Okay, the recording is started.
Okay, you can share the screen.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Since no one is on video, I'm sorry, guys. Will not be on video. I'll be taking this session like this only. If anyone comes on video, I will come on video. Okay. So, hello all. Myself Shikha. My full name is Shikha Mishra Trivedi, and I'm by profession I am a software engineer, SAP consultant, and by passion I write. I'm tarot reader. I like to delve into a spiritual realm and try to gauge whatever things I can on my own, and also with the help of anyone that is in touch with their spirituality. So, yes, guys, I would like to have your own introduction as well before starting. I think can start with Jenish. You can start with your introduction. A quick introduction, name and what you like to do. That's it. Passion or your name and your passion.
Hi everyone. Good morning. My name is Shanish Modi, and as you all know me, we have been connected through Free Soul since like 6 to 8 months now, and I am passionate for exploring the spirituality in my life. Yes.
Yeah. Parikshit, can you give your introduction?
Good morning, sir. My name is Parisi Tulga.
Hi, good.
I'm working as a QA engineer, and my passion is also wants to become a good successful engineer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Viral,
Yeah, hello everyone. This is Viral Walan. By profession, I am also a software engineer. Uh, I like to explore new things. Right now, lately, I have started into this spirituality, and then like to read new things like books and all, whatever it is, like new apps, new reading, new music. Yeah.
okay, amazing. Ashwin, can you give your introduction?
Yeah, I'm. Can you hear me first of all?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm a AI specialist or generalist or whatever, and I'm interested in philosophy and also little less in spirituality. I mean, my main aim is to take control over my mind
Oh,
and take full control over my mind, I would say, and concentrate on something, whatever I do, and get the full potential of it.
you want to utilize 100% of your brain.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be wonderful. Like, that would be a very, I think, never done before a feat by anyone.
Even not even if not 100%, at least 95%.
Okay.
Once you're done with 95%, let us know how you do that.
That is what I want to do. I mean, I'm the opposite of it. I'm below everybody else because I cannot concentrate. I have ADHD, that is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Yes, that comes with their own challenges. You will have difficulty in
Yeah,
attention. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Subhash, can you give your introduction?
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Subhash. I love to, exploring any new knowledge that exists in spirituality over the years. And my passion is to connect with people who are exploring the same path. So I am here today to learn with Shikha what she has to talk about the inner child healing. Thank you.
Thank you. Swatiben, can you give your introduction? Swati Ben is not there, right?
स्वाति बहन ड्रॉप हो गए शायद, अभी थे इधर लेकिन ड्रॉप हो गए.
ठीक है. Okay, let's start with inner child healing. Go to next slide, Janish. So we'll first start off with agenda. आज का मोटिव क्या है और हमको क्या accomplish करना है. We will start with that. Because we will not able to reach somewhere if we don't know the destinations and the milestone in between. So we need to reach a destination of the completion of this meeting or a session, and the goal is for me and for you, so that we can collaborate to understand what inner child healing is and how it works, at least get a grasp of it, at least get a gist of it. Even if you can understand a 5% of it, it will be success for me. My goal is not 100%. My goal is that you at least understand or get at least it's like a 90 feet deep pond. For me, even if you get into 5 feet, it's a achievement for me. So you want to go deep into it, that's for you. For us, the agenda is to touch base upon the topic, understand it, and understand how it affects us, right? As how we function as a human being. So these are the milestones, or we'll call the milestone along with the agenda. So first, we have an introduction of the topic. In between, we will be asking the questions to each other. You can ask me, and I will ask you to understand where we both stand, right? We'll practice few techniques. For that, we will have a break in between, and I'll ask you to take few things with you so that we can have a practice on it, right? For practice techniques, we will need all of you on camera, right? So it will be like till 8:15 or 8:30. I'll try to complete whatever I can, and after that, we'll have a 10 minutes of break, and then we will practice the techniques that we have seen, right? Conclusion, we will try to make a conclusion out of any like of this particular thing that we are going to study today. Now, conclusion is something which is, I will not say it's a direct proportion to the what we actually understand or what it actually is, right? It's sometimes it's relatively subjective. You might conclude something else, I might conclude something else, but it's okay. The point is to get into it, not to get a marks or something like that. For that, we are not here. Then we will have at the end, we will have a meditation that we will going to practice. For that, I need every one of you to be off camera, because that we will have our comfortable space and we'll perform the meditation, right? At the end. Then we will have a question answers. You can ask in between as well. But better if you note it down and ask at the end, so that we can take it up and all the question answers will be at the one place, right? And at the end, I like to have a feedback. I will also have a feedback how I feel with you guys, and I need your feedback how this session went and what you get out of it, right? So let's start. We will start with the topic. Now, can anyone tell me what they understand by inner child? We'll come to healing later on. We'll first try to get into it. What is the inner child? Can anyone answer that? कोई बता सकता है inner child क्या होता है? Any one of you?
Inner.
Yeah, Shubhash was going to say something. Yeah, Shubhash.
मेरे लिए वो इनर चाइल्ड है जो बचपन में हम जैसे जैसे रहते थे, दैट इज व्हाट इज इनर चाइल्ड.
Okay. Anyone else?
लिविंग केयर फ्री,
Oh,
जैसे सुभाष ने बताया उसी लाइन.
okay. Anyone else? Okay, I take this silence as a no. So, I tried inner child वाला अब दोनों सही है. I want to go one step ahead with that. Inner child is a child inside of you, which is always alive. You might feel weird that what it is, but it's a child inside of you. A child of 8-year-old Shikha still lives with me. 9-year-old Shikha still lives with me, right? Till she becomes an adult. Even the teenage is also considered as a part of a child, even though it is on the verge of adulthood. Still, जो टीनेज होता है, जो स्टार्टिंग होता है, या फिर आपने बोल सकते हैं 18-19 ईयर्स तक, जब तक हम लोगों को अकल नहीं आती, जब तक हम वोटिंग नहीं कर सकते, उतने हम जिम्मेदार ना हो जाए 18 साल के, उसके अंदर जो मासूमियत होती है, जो इनोसेंस होती है, जो चाइल्ड लाइक क्वालिटीज होती हैं, जो एक भोलापन होता है, एक मासूमियत होती है, राइट? अ प्योर इनोसेंस, प्योर चाइल्ड लाइक इनोसेंस, not understanding anything, all those capabilities, or I will say a characteristic of a child. So that 7-year-old Shikha, that 6-year-old Shikha still lives with me and will always be there still till I die. That's my inner child. Because at every year, at every हर एक पड़ाव पर हम एक डिफरेंस एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं और हम लोग ग्रो करते हैं. I don't know about you guys. If anyone has any like a first memory that they can remember, I'll tell you mine. Mine was watching the wall of my first house, opening the eyes, seeing the clock. और वो क्लॉक देख के मैं पूछ रही थी मैं कहाँ हूँ और मैं ये क्या कर रही हूँ यहाँ पे. That's what I felt. Of course, that I did not learn the language. I was a child. मुझे words नहीं आते थे, पर मुझे feeling properly पता है कि ऐसा मुझे महसूस हुआ था. मैं यहाँ क्यों हूँ, मैं क्या कर रही हूँ और ये क्या जगह है. I might be hardly a 2-year old or like that. So that's the earliest memory that I have. The color of the wall, the texture of the wall, the wall clock, everything I remember. That's the earliest memory that I have. Right? So anyone else have and wants to share their earliest memory that they have as a child, that they can remember that this was the first memory or something like that कि इतना पुराना मुझे याद है या फिर है.
मुझे याद ही नहीं आ रहा.
कुछ तो याद होगा ना बचपन का. क्लास में बैठते थे या स्कूल जाते थे, सीनियर केजी, जूनियर केजी.
ये वीरल को याद होगा, इसको मैंने बहुत मारा था स्कूल में इसको.
मुझे मुझे बहुत बहुत कुछ याद है actually.
हाँ, तो कैन यू शेयर वन ऑफ द इंसिडेंट?
जैसे I was in first standard, I was studying in Sanjam. So I used to go with my friends and by walking. School was very nearby. मैं
ओके.
पहले रूम में बैठता था. रोज हम वो गुजराती में उसको प्रतिज्ञा पत्र बोलते थे, तो वो हम बोलते थे पहले, सब स्टार्ट होने से पहले. फिर लंच के लिए वापस घर आते थे और खाना खा के वापस स्कूल जाते थे. बहुत कुछ है ये सब. मंदिर भी जाते थे, फ्रेंड्स के साथ खेलते थे.
वाह, तो आपका स्कूल इतना नजदीक था कि आप घर जा सकते थे इन बिटवीन.
यस.
दैट इज अ बोनस एक्चुअली. कुछ भी हो अपने घर जा सकते हैं.
नजदीक नहीं था, वो घर स्कूल में ही था.
घर.
देख सकते हैं.
Ashwin, you want to share anything if you remember?
Nothing special.
Okay. It doesn't have to be special. Anything like even mundane things are special at one point of time, right?
Mm, no, nothing I want to share.
Okay, okay. परीक्षित जी, आप कुछ शेयर करना चाहते हैं?
नहीं, कुछ खास नहीं है. तो
ओके.
हमारे स्कूल के बचपन में याद है कि फर्स्ट टू थर्ड स्टैंडर्ड के बच्चों के लिए खाना खाने के बाद में आधा घंटा हमें सुला देते स्कूल के अंदर ही सारे बच्चों को।
अच्छा।
हमें
सही।
उठा देते आधे घंटे के बाद।
सही है, तो मजा आता होगा। Manish, you want to share?
बहुत सारी चीजें हैं।
हम्म कोई एक चीज बता दो जो याद है स्ट्रांगली।
वो सब स्ट्रांगली याद है।
हम्म
एक मेरी सिस्टर को मैं स्कूल में छोड़ने गया, नर्सरी के लिए छोड़ने जाता था क्योंकि हमारे घर से वॉकिंग डिस्टेंस था।
अच्छा।
तो माय मदर यूज्ड टू बी लाइक, you are a big brother now, you have to go and drop her to school and take to the tuition. मैं साइकिल पे ट्यूशन रखने जाता था और चल के स्कूल उसको ड्रॉप करने जाता था। सेकेंड आई रिमेम्बर इज visiting a nature's place like mountains, trees with parents.
हम्म
घूमने जाते थे तभी, तो होल्डिंग देयर हैंड एंड वाचिंग ऑल दिस माउंटेन्स, ट्रीज, बीच, वो सब।
वाह। गाइस, ये आप सोच रहे हो तो कैसा लग रहा है आप लोगों को बचपन के बारे में? ऐसा लगता है कोई और जमाने में पहुंच गए, यानी वो याद करके कि क्या दिन थे? डू यू गाइस फील लाइक दैट?
Yes.
Right, so I just want you to be in that space. Let's move ahead with next slide, Janish. Now, when this child is there inside of us, that child goes through so much of it. Good part, bad part. Now we are coming to the bad part. We try to understand the memories that we had, which can be good, which can be bad. Now, good memory stays with us, so do bad. In good memories, we can relish and we can feel the joy of that childhood, right? But in bad memories that leave a scar for entire life till we die, until unless we work upon it. So it's not like that it will stay with you till you die. But if you work upon it religiously and rigorously, then there is a high chance. I'm saying a chance. I'm not saying 100% since I am not a certified psychologist. But there is a high chance. But since I've worked on it, so from my personal experience, I can say on that there is a high chance that you can get out of it and live a normal and happy life. So we all have certain situations in our life that we saw something which we should not seen at that point of time. We experienced something that at that point in time we were not mature enough. यानी हम लोग मेच्योर नहीं थे, हम लोग बच्चे थे और हमने कुछ चीज ऐसे देखी या एक्सपीरियंस की या किसी और के, खुद भी नहीं, किसी और के साथ भी देखी, पर हमको नहीं पता. आई विल शेयर वन इंसिडेंट आफ्टर दिस स्लाइड. आई विल गिव यू सम एग्जांपल्स ऑफ एज वेल फ्रॉम माय पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस. एंड उसमें ऐसा होता है कि बहुत बार हमको अपने एग्जाम्पल से नहीं, किसी और की लाइफ में हो रहा होता है तो उससे भी हमको इम्फेक्ट होता है, और दैट ऑल्सो लिव्स अ काइंड ऑफ इम्प्रेशन or trauma or kind of a fear inside of us which develops the anxiety. तो उससे वर्क करने के लिए हमको पहले अंडरस्टैंड करना पड़ेगा इनर चाइल्ड क्या है. तो हमने वो एक्सपीरियंस कर लिया अभी, राइट? वी ऑल एक्सपीरियंस, वी वेंट बैक टू दोस डेज एंड वी सॉ व्हाट आवर इनर चाइल्ड वाज, राइट? वेलकम स्वाति बहन.
Good morning, Shikha.
Good morning. Swati Ben, we have just started with our introduction to our topic, and now we are going into the things. We understood what inner child is, right?
Okay.
Child is our 5 साल की स्वाति बहन, 6 साल की स्वाति बहन की बात हो रही. Okay?
Acha, yes.
Inner,
Great. Mhm.
and that inner child stays with us till we die.
Right.
Okay, so let's start with this. We have just started. We'll start with inner child healing. Why it requires a healing. So what happens? Now, where were we? Yeah. So those things that we have experienced as a child while watching a cinema, while watching someone else experience it, or while us going through it. or through anyone's in anyone's life, like relative or friend or anyone. यानी हीलिंग किससे होती है? कुछ लग जाता है, मुझे अगर चोट लग गई है तो मुझे हीलिंग की जरूरत होगी फिजिकली। वैसे मेंटली चोट लगेगी तो मुझे मेंटल हीलिंग या इमोशनल हीलिंग की जरूरत पड़ेगी, बिकॉज माई इमोशंस, माई मेंटल, माई थॉट्स एंड एवरीथिंग इज हर्ट बाय दोज थिंग्स, even though I'm physically safe, but I went through something which hurted me during that time. Me or you or anyone in our place, right? So जब वो बच्चा, अब इसको इनर चाइल्ड हीलिंग क्यों बोलते हैं? क्योंकि बच्चे को एक एनवायरनमेंट चाहिए होता है, एक सेफ स्पेस चाहिए होता है, और ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी उसके माँ बाप या उसके गार्डियन की होती है। गार्डियन यानी माँ बाप जैसे, जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेते हैं बच्चे की, अगर इन केस माँ बाप नहीं होता है तो। अब बहुत सारे सर्कमस्टेंसेस होते हैं जब वो चाइल्ड सेफ फील नहीं करता है, दैट चाइल्ड इज नॉट प्रोटेक्टेड, राइट, और इज नॉट बीन नरिश्ड, और his or her needs are not met, right? That 8-year-old Shikha wanted that love, she did not get it, for example, I'm saying. So that child will always crave that love from everyone else. Like if the child has not got the desired love from their father, they will seek that love. If it is an opposite gender, like if it is a daughter, she means, this is termed as a daddy issue, one of the daddy issues, if you have heard this term. Daddy issues are the issues with your dad which you compassionate in your other relationships, especially जो females होती है जिनके साथ ही daddy issues होते हैं, they will always try to compensate that thing with other relationships in their life, especially male counterparts, especially their romantic relationship, because it's the first hand where you have a interaction with the opposite gender, right? And it's one of the main relationship you, after you have, apart from sibling, you have in your life. That's your partner. Same goes with your mom. If someone's mom has been absent during their upbringing, they have not got the required motherly love in their life. Same goes with the men. They will seek that love, that affection from their wife, their counterparts, because they're the closest relationship, or the relationship they are going to spend their life with. At least in India, we have that, right? Or at least, I'm just making an assumption, but this is the kind of love we seek in our partner, because that love was not given when it was required. Because a child needs not just a nourishment, उसको सिर्फ खाना पीना और एक सेफ स्पेस नहीं चाहिए होता, उसको प्यार भी चाहिए होता है। अगर वो प्यार और वो केयर और वो डायरेक्शन उसको नहीं मिलता, तो वो पूरी जिंदगी भटकता है उस प्यार के लिए, उस डायरेक्शन के लिए, जो सोचता है कि मुझे यहाँ से नहीं मिली तो मुझे कहीं और से मिल जाएगी। They even seek that in their friends, right? So I'm not saying anything is right or wrong, but this is what happens with people who go through severe trauma because they have not received something which was required of at that particular time. और अगर वो ड्यूरेशन पूरा चाइल्डहुड के टाइम, वो चाइल्डहुड ऐसे ही चला गया, और या फिर कुछ ऐसी चीज हो गई कि वो चीज होते हुए भी वो ट्रॉमा उसके साथ चल जाता है. दैट थिंग्स आर सेक्सुअल अब्यूज, आई एम टॉकिंग वन ऑफ द थिंग्स. The other things are any kind of physical harassment. A person got beat up by someone, or a child got bitten by a dog. कुत्ते ने काट लिया, किसी ने काट लिया. So वो क्या बचपन में किया गया, पर वो आपके साथ पूरी लाइफ चलता है unless until you face that fear, right? So that, let's go to the slide. So inner child healing is a process of recognizing, acknowledging, and nurturing the vulnerable emotional part of yourself that emerged during your childhood. All right. This part is generated in the cases of, especially in the cases of a trauma, which has happened by the accident or all the causes that I told you before. Particularly those involving unmet needs or a trauma can impact your present emotions and behaviors. So there are certain patterns, especially in West, if I'm talking about, where there is a major missing of a fatherly figure or motherly figure, of a parent's care in the childhood upbringing. So what happens? Those seek that in their counterparts. And when those needs are not met, there are high chances that they get separated. So it starts from the day you are born till you become mature enough. All those years require a certain kind of a care, certain kind of needs need to be met, whether it's physical, emotional. Physical needs in terms of you need someone to drop you to the school because you are a child, right? Like Jenish did. अपनी बहन को छोड़ने जाता था, राइट? वो जा सकती थी नहीं, वो बहुत छोटी थी, right? She required that care and she got it from her brother. Not even if parents are not there, but parents are there, but she got it from her brother, right? But who made it happen? Their parents made it happen, right? The parents were fully involved in the upbringing of the child. So if person who are brought up with I will say certain times it's a luxury or a privilege to have a good parents, and even if they are not that great parents, but if they have met those basic needs, because even though down the line they are also a human being, right? Like we are human being, we are bound to make mistakes. They are also human being, they are bound to make mistakes. Later on we will try to get into that part as well, because we need to make a peace with that, right? So whatever they can do, they did, and we are here. So I will say we need a lots of gratitude. I think every day, every minute requires a gratitude from our side to our parents or our grandparents or whoever our guardian was, to make to thank them that we are safe. उनका तो शुक्रिया रोज करना चाहिए, considering that you are alive and you were properly fed during your years, during your childhood years till you become adult. They fed you, they did things, they put their sweat and blood in your upbringing, right? So if we go with that gratitude, slowly and gradually, this issues that we have with our guardians, whoever they be, slowly and gradually they come to a point of a conclusion, right? And we are going to discuss that later on in detail. So anyone has any doubt regarding this, what we have understood? It means what we have discussed. Okay, I take silence.
No question from me.
Yeah, tell me.
Hey, Shikha, good going.
Okay. Jenish, next slide, please. Okay, next slide. We are going to understand the key concepts, right? The key aspects. What are there, right? So, first, understanding the concept, you understood what inner child is. Now, why that inner child healing? Because that child requires healing, because it's been hurt during the childhood years by their guardians, by their friends, by their environment. Certain people are bullied during their school, right? So it needs to be understand what kind of things might have happened, right? So let's start with inner child. Inner child represents the vulnerable, emotional, and often wounded, right? Zakhmi. जख्म उसको लगा है जब वो बच्चा था, राइट? या बच्ची थी. सो उसके फ्रेंड ने उसको कुछ चिढ़ाया होगा. आई नाउ टेक माई एग्जाम्पल. आई हैड अ बॉयकट. बॉयकट यू नो, लाइक एकदम छोटे बाल थे मेरे, लड़कों जैसे एकदम बॉयकट बाल थे. Because my mom was a working woman, and also I had a very uncontrollable wavy hair. So to maintain it, it requires a lot of efforts. So I used to have a small hair, and when I grew up, when I was able to maintain on myself, I had it long. For a long time, I had a short hair. So Gujarati में एक term है, I think Ashwin did not know, so I'll explain. Bodi. Bodi is someone who is having very less hair.
I think you said this last time, many months ago. You've said this.
Yeah, so that was a part of my inner child. Okay, the child, I was only 7 to 8 years old. And when they used to tease me a lot because of my hair. They used to tell Maggie as well because it very curly. Now, Maggie I was comfortable with since I liked Maggie. But Bodhi is kind of insulting way they used to do. They used to chant it in the motions. Okay, everyone in the circle. So I had so much issue in accepting my own hair. I could not understand even the day when I had a long hair, I had a target to have it. After that, I understood and accepted that that's the way it is. I need to make a way out of it. So that's a part of my healing because I've spent money and efforts to maintain my hair. And still, it will look the way it will look because that's how they are. They can't be as straight and silky, and no, they can't be because they are curly. They have their own characteristics, they are their own characters, they have their own mood, like me. So that's the acceptance that comes. So the part which was hurted was me not accepting the part of my personality which was hair. So even though I don't know, you guys, boys might not have be able to, I don't know, be able to understand or not, but something which was a aspect of me. Like if someone of you might be teased of your height, of your weight, of your color, of your complexion while growing up, right? So hair is one of those for us ladies. The high time for me to accept that, right? So inner child healing represents those vulnerable and emotional, often wounded part of yourself that you carry unresolved pain and unmet needs from your childhood. Next is the impact of childhood. Early experiences and relationship with parents and caregivers can have a lasting impact on your emotional and psychological being. Now, I used to get very much fear with my parents, especially my father, not my mother, but my father. During one of the time, he scolded my brother. I mean, भैया को डांट लगा दी because of some marks or something like that. So I was very much scared. After I got a result and I failed, I did not went back to my home because of that. Because that fear was so much that if I go back home, I will be punished or I will be made to do something that I don't like it. Like example, I don't like to do certain chores at home. So they will make me do that or they will not allow me to go outside. So I was so scared. मैं इतना डर गई थी मैं जाके स्वाति बहन आई थिंक अश्विन और अदर्स माइट नो स्वाति बहन मैं फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड में फेल हो गई थी सारे सब्जेक्ट में एक्सेप्ट गुजरात तो मैं घर गई ही नहीं 6 साल की बच्ची सीधा रिक्शा से उतर के गार्डन चली गई घर नहीं गई और घर पे हंगामा हो गया कि कहाँ गई लड़की दे सर्च्ड एवरीवेयर एंड दे कुड नॉट फाइंड मी My mom thought that let's check the garden. Maybe she's there. They even went to the rickshaw wala's house and he told कि मैं तो drop करके आया स्कूल जाके आए वो लोग कहीं भी नहीं मिली. Then at the end my mom came to the garden. She saw me and after that she came to make कि हाँ चलो चलो and I was like no I they will scold me. I will not go. So my mom is like no you have to means we will not do anything she pacified me मुझे मनाया थोड़ा वो किया कि नहीं कुछ नहीं होगा and I went back to him and really nothing happened. But one thing that happened is my parents understood that they worked on themselves actually as a caregiver. They concentrated not on now what happens after that. That's what I'm saying, that they did not scold me. They did not make me do certain things which I was scared of or I don't want to do it. So I was now as growing up during that time I could not see that, but now I'm after growing up now making peace with it. I can understand that what they also learn as a parent. They worked on themselves. They make sure that we don't do things that she takes certain steps. So they worked on themselves considering that they will interact with me in a way that I feel safe, I feel comfortable, and I take this thing as seriously, studies as a seriously. And if I'm not working, my mother, my father, both of them worked with me. They made sure that I understand things and I study and I get it done because they were with me. they made sure that, because I was not the one who can study on her own, like my brother. He's like that from the day one. He studies on his own. He doesn't need anyone to, unless until he does not understand the concept, right? So that is an impact of childhood. The one of the more things that I want to share as a female, that I want to talk about the impact of childhood, right? I don't know if I've shared this before or not. I I was diagnosed of one kind of a trauma, and that was one of the trauma is I watched one movie during 90s when I was a child, and that includes a sexual assault, right? I did not know that played as a role in shaping the decisions that I took while growing up and after growing up. And after I had an interaction with one of my friends who's a part of one of the organization who provides support to the people with mental health problems, or the people with the stress and anxiety and all the kind of problems that we have, mental issues that we have. He told me that you are suffering from this and you don't know. Now this things have is not happened with me. But the way it was described or it was picturized, I did not know that it will leave such a lasting impact on me even after growing up. I need to be very sure if I'm planning a trip alone, I cannot plan the trip alone at that point of time. And if I'm planning, I will make sure that I have to be at a safe space at a right. I need to be at the right place at the right time. I can't afford a wrong time in a wrong place. And the way the things are in the society, how boys and girls and everyone has been brought up, it's not a safe space for girls. In the certain cities, they can't roam outside after 7 p.m. till the sunrise, right? So it's almost half of the day you can't go outside your house. And if house is not safe space, then it's altogether a different ball game, right? So that was an impact that I also did not know, and I came to know that this is one of the things that was there and it was bothering me, and I worked on it, right? But still, certain times if we hear, especially, I don't know about other ladies, but if I hear certain news in the newspaper or certain things happening with any woman, then I feel like, when this is gonna change, like why we need to live in the fear? When things are going to change, we feel frustrated, we feel angry actually, not for the girl who has gone through, but for everything that happens in the, we feel anger for the person who's doing it, that what kind of mindset that person has and what he gets out of it, right? I'm starting with he because it's most of the time is he, it's always he, sorry, but that's the case. Yeah, coming to this things impact, and it happens with, I no one will share, like women don't share these things, but I wanted to share to make you guys understand that what women go through, every woman go through, unless until they are not outside, means who is going outside, they might have experienced once in their life something which was unpleasant, totally unpleasant, and that leaves a scarring impact on them. Now I'm a little bit like, I am little bit happy seeing the current generation of women, girls who don't take the bullshit, this kind of bullshit. They rightly they call it out on the face and they don't shy away. And this kind of things is needed. And this does not just happen with women. This happens with certain men, and I know few of them. And for women, it's sometimes it's I will not say easy, but it is somewhere is understandable that we can cry it off in front of others. But man, oh no, it's very, very, very difficult. And I know certain men who has gone through these things, and for them to open up to opposite gender about these things, it's very, very brave actually. If this thing happens with the men, it is questioning their masculinity, their उनके मर्द होने पर उनको डाउट होने लगता है कि ऐसा मेरे साथ कोई एक आदमी कैसे कर सकता है. I'm discussing these things because we need to address these things. And these things happen with people, not just women, that happens with men. And if it happens with men, it's even worse. So, especially the elder boys in the school harass and bully the younger boys. That's, they call it a locker room stories, and they they pawn upon the smallest guy, right, in the school. And psychologically it leads to so much thing, and when they grow up they don't know that is the root cause is this. Certain times how our brain works, shutdowns actually, when certain things happens which is out of your control and which is too much for you, you forget that thing. You forget that thing ever happened. But what it does, it is like a plastic bag. Okay. And in plastic bag you have put all the kachra, all the garbage, and you have tightened it and put it somewhere in the larger bag, which is having n number of things. And then you forget that you have that bag, and inside that bag there is a small bag. But what it does, it's a plastic, it's going to emit a smell. I'm just taking this example to make you understand how it works inside our mind. वो क्या स्मेल करने लगेगा, बदबू करने लगेगा, और वो बदबू क्या है, आपके रिएक्शंस टू द सर्टेन सिचुएशंस एंड डिसीजंस दैट यू टेक ड्यूरिंग योर लाइफ. That smells is something. The smell is, I think I can metaphorically refer to. यानी मैं उसको example दूं, मैं example इसलिए ले रही हूँ to make you understand that क्या हो रहा है हमारे दिमाग में और हम कैसे उसको react कर रहे हैं. हमको कोई चीज समझ में नहीं आती है तो हम उसको साइड में रख देते हैं, तो हमारा माइंड भी यही करता है. बहुत सारे केसेस में certain things when happens you forget it or you didn't even know that it existed. बट जो हुआ है उसका रिजोल्यूशन तो लाना पड़ेगा, और रिजोल्यूशन नहीं होता तो तब तक वो महकता रहता है. कचरा कैसा कैसा बास मारता है, वैसा बास मारने लगता है. और बास कैसे आएगी, आपकी रिएक्शन से आएगी, आपकी इरिटेशन से आएगी, आपकी झिझक से आएगी, आपके सर्टेन इनएबिलिटी टू टेक अ डिसीजन. आप डिसीजन नहीं ले पाओगे सर्टेन सिचुएशंस में. दैट्स हाउ इट्स रिफ्लेक्टेड. It can even reflect in a way that you will not chase your dream ever. You will not get to your dream ever because वो कचरा हम बास मार रहे हैं और उससे आपको आप बीमार भी हो रहे हो. और आपका गोल है कि आपको ओलंपिक में दौड़ना है, तो बीमारी के साथ कैसे दौड़ोगे? You need to be very fit for that. So even to think about your dream becomes very impossible when you are dealing with these issues, and sometimes it is very small issues. I'm not talking about the higher issues. I just told you about used to call me, tease me with my hair. It is a very small thing, but it utilizes your time and energy. If the time and energy I've spent on the hair products and the hair care and what kind of stuff you need to use on hair, the YouTube videos I need to watch and all those things, if I have utilized that time into certain thing else, I would have been somewhere else. But I did that because I was very concerned about it, even though it's a small thing. But it was not small thing for me because it was made a big deal out of it. Hope everyone is, everyone is awake.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
I was actually thinking about my childhood, what happened, and why I'm like this.
Okay. You get a certain affinity or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you my personal examples. Today I don't know what happened. I'm not able to speak certain words. मैं वो वर्ड्स बोल ही नहीं पा रही हूँ, और मैं उसकी गुजराती भी नहीं बोल पा रही हूँ, ना हिंदी बोल पा रही हूँ, क्योंकि certain words have their own flavor. You can't find it in another language, right? So what I wanted to say, just a minute, I will have water. Just a second. What I wanted to say is, मैं सब इसलिए बोल रही हूँ कि आप लोगों की लाइफ में बहुत छोटी छोटी चीजें हुई होंगी, और वो छोटी छोटी से इतनी छोटी चीजें हुई होंगी आपने फॉरगेट भी कर दी होंगी, आपके कॉन्शियसनेस में वो अराइज नहीं होंगी, पर उसके लिए आपको है ना इंट्रोस्पेक्शन करना पड़ेगा. और इंट्रोस्पेक्शन इज वन ऑफ द हैबिट्स which you need to have in your life if you want to go ahead. You don't want to stuck in the past. Daily 10 minutes of introduction, where you stand, what is your energy, where you stand, what is bothering you, is death of your pet during the childhood had bothered you, that even if you now wanted another pet, you can't have it because that pain of having the first pet, leaving the first pet, is not making you move ahead with the new pet, right? So we need to dig deeper that why we are not, and where we can start off is why we need to ask certain questions to ourselves, that why we are not doing this. So sometimes the answer lies in our childhood that we might have forget. So for that we need an introspection. So the third part is the unmet needs, which we have already discussed. Inner child healing often involves acknowledging and addressing unmet emotional needs from childhood, such as the need for the safety, love, and validation. Yeah, validation, we have not touched upon the validation. Validation plays a big part of you need to be very sure or confident of whether you are right or not. So you always seek a validation. You always ask your caregiver or your guardian or your parents whether whatever I'm doing is right or not. हम अपने अपने पेरेंट्स से पूछते हैं कि कोई भी, फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं लड़कियों की बात करूं, हम लोग कोई भी कपड़े पहनेंगे, फ्रॉक पहनेंगे, कुछ भी पहनेंगे, वी विल आस्क, बिकॉज इन चाइल्डहुड आवर मदर्स एंड आवर फादर्स यूज्ड टू ब्रिंग क्लोथ्स फॉर अस. So as growing up, or like in teenage, we used to dress ourselves, and then we ask our parents whether we are looking good or not. And this um, carries on when we are in our 20s or 30s, because we always seek that validation. Now that comes from your partner. So आपकी बीवी क्यों पूछती है आपसे अब मैं कैसी लग रही हूँ? Guys, you're not understanding why your wives ask you how they are looking. They're looking for the validation. They at least need one person to say that you are looking okay. There is nothing missing from them. Whether they are wearing a sari or jeans or whatever they are wearing, they are looking for that validation. They're not just validation, just a confirmation sometimes. They are okay, like something like baal sahi hai ki nahi hai, face sahi hai ki nahi hai, like it is clean or not, like nothing is on my face, or my clothes are okay. So they are just looking for that extra step of validation and confirmation from you guys, that कुछ अजीब तो नहीं लग रहा ना. So that's why they ask this question. So कभी भी आपकी बीवी बोले ना कैसी लग रही है, तो एक बार ऐसे नहीं, हाँ अच्छी लग रही हो, बिना देखे नहीं बोलना, एक बार देख लेना है, फिर पॉज लेके बोलना है अच्छा लग रहा है. और या कुछ लग रहा है तो जेन्युइनली फीडबैक दे देना है. इफ यू हैव वेरी गुड बॉन्डिंग विद योर वाइफ, यू कैन जेन्युइनली गिव योर फीडबैक टू हर कि ये कलर की जगह अगर ये कलर पहना होता तो बहुत मस्त, वो वाला पहनोगी तो बहुत मस्त लगेगा. And if you give this also, they will be very happy. That's why they are asking this question. Sometimes they are looking just for the confirmation, but sometimes they are really looking for the validation. How they are looking, because women are judged by the way they are looking. If you guys just go for jeans and shirt, no one is going to question you, even in the wedding. But if a woman wears just a t-shirt, right, a sleeveless t-shirt and a jeans, everybody is going to see her in the wedding. What she's wearing, why she is wearing. There is so much gossip. She does not have that liberty to dress the way she wants. She has to always conform और अडेयर टू द सिचुएशन. उसको हमेशा रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस में चलना पड़ेगा. शादी में तो साड़ी या लहंगा या ड्रेस या ऐसा कुछ चमकता धमकता ही पहनना है, उसके लिए इसका पूरा वार्डरोब होगा. right? So if your wife, your partner, or anyone asks you for the validation, if your mother, no, everyone asks for you how they are looking, just look at them, see them, and they then say the required thing. Give your genuine feedback. They will feel so happy, they will feel so good that they will come out with you with a smile on their face. No jukjik and nothing during the way. Okay. So let's go to the another slide. Janish, another slide. Yeah. So go to the next slide. So we'll go to the benefits of inner child healing, why we require it. Okay. So first it does the emotional regulation. Second, it does is improved relationship. Third, it does is personal growth. Fourth is increased resolution. Resilience. Sorry. So emotional regulation is healing your inner child can help you develop better emotional regulation skills and reduce anxiety and stress. Right. So if I work on the certain things of myself, like if a girl has worked on her daddy issues, she understood that her dad or her male caregiver was the way it is, and they did their best, or whatever it is, they will not seek that constant validation, that constant love, or that constant, they will not stick to their sticking, and saying the constant sticking to their partners. They will not do that. Same goes with the men. If they got that required motherly love in their childhood, they will not stick to their partners. They will give them the freedom that they require. They give them the support they require. They will not need that constant physical presence or physical caring and warmth that they thought that their mother, like, one of the characteristics of like mother is being a good cook, right? Cooking for them. So if they get the partner who's not a good cook, and they have this kind of mommy issues, there is a very hard time that this becomes one of the conflict point between the two partners, that you don't know how to cook. Well, it majorly falls on the woman, right? So when this happens, this comes to the point that even breaks the relationship between two people, right? Because they are demanding something. Of course, I'm not saying that only woman needs to cook or only men needs to cook. Both of them should know how to cook, and both of them should know how they should handle their home, right? If someone is cooking, one can do cleaning. If one can do cleaning, then one is can work on the other stuffs that are there in the house, right? So what happens, but this becomes a conflicting point for a man if they have not got that required food or that demand which was not satisfied during their childhood. So it just pours onto their partner, right? Something which can be sought out with other means. They can have even have a maid, right? But it comes to a conflicting point of you need to do it. Why you are not doing it? That creates a problem because they have not made a peace with it. Same with the same with the girl or woman, right? Females, if they have not made peace with their father, they will always doubt their husbands. They will always have that things like why you are going, when you are going to coming back. They will constantly seek those validations because what the kind of safety, the kind of emotional needs she did not got while growing up, right? So when this happens, this emotional regulation comes, which improves your relationship with your partner. If in case you don't, those things are missing while growing up, right? If you have been bullied and if you have not worked on yourself, considering that my work related to my hair was not just growing it long or whatever it is. My work was inside of me that I need to accept however it is. When I'll become 70, 60, right? They will not be as good as it. For some people, they hairs are not even there if they reach on 60s or 70s, right? So we need to work on the aspect of how we are looking at it. If we can work on the aspect how it is, it's good, but majorly we need to work upon how the things are. यानी मुझे बाल कैसे भी हैं, राइट, छोटे बड़े लंबे घने या नहीं है या है, वो जैसे भी हैं मुझे उसको उस तरह से एक्सेप्ट करना, वो मेरा पार्ट है, या फिर मुझे उसको अच्छा करने वाला पार्ट है. अच्छा कर सकता तो अच्छी बात है, बट स्टिल आई नीड टू एक्सेप्ट द वे इट इज, बिकॉज हमेशा ये फिजिकल एस्पेक्ट हमारा ऐसा नहीं रहेगा. When all through your life or most of your life you are thin and you have started to gain weight, right? If you remember your teenage, if you were very thin and now you have gained a weight, if you look at yourself and slowly and gradually you realize कि यार ये वेट कंट्रोल में नहीं हो रहा है, और मुझे अब पहले ऐसा फीलिंग नहीं आ रहा है कि मैं एकदम उस तरह से भाग सकूं, उस तरह से दौड़ सकूं, उस तरह से मेरे में एनर्जी रहे, स्पेशली आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द एनर्जी पार्ट, राइट? सो वो अगर हम लोग को वर्क करना है हमारी बॉडी पे तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, वो तो बॉडी पे तो वर्क करना ही पड़ेगा, बट वी ऑल्सो हैव टू एक्सेप्ट द पॉइंट दैट वी आर एट सर्टेन एज एंड दैट एज कम्स विद देयर ओन बैगेज ऑफ फ्लॉस, राइट? You don't have that number of new cells in your body as you used to have in 20s. If you are in 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s, certain declines happen as you age, right? Improved relationships, that's what we talked about, right? If you have, you made a peace with your parents or grandparents or whoever is your caregiver, you make a peace with other relationships in your life, especially your partners, right? Because you accept those things as they are, and then you're moving ahead with what things lies ahead, राइट? देन जस्ट सीइंग देम एज दे आर, यानी मुझे सिर्फ उसको उस तरह से नहीं देखना है, मुझे उस तरह से देखना है कि मैं उसको अंडरस्टैंड कर रही हूँ कि हाँ ये ऐसी है, right? So by understanding and healing your inner child, you can improve your ability to form and maintain the healthy relationship. And maintaining is a very important part. Personal growth, inner child healing can foster a personal growth, right? I told you about the introspection part. So if you are constantly asking your question to yourself, that what needs to be done, why I'm not taking this decision, why I've taken this decision, of course in both the cases you need to ask yourself why it is like that. I don't have to ask one time, you have to drill down 5 to 6 layers by asking why. Then ultimately you reach somewhere the answers pointed out to something which happened in childhood or even in early 20s, right? Which is still impacting your decision making now, right? So this plays a great role in personal growth. Increased resilience. Healing your inner child can help you become more resilient to emotional challenges and less likely to be triggered by past. So see, this becomes important. Triggered by past experiences, as in somewhere someone commented about your appearance or about the way you are, the way you talk. Especially if someone who used to stammer, कोई तुतलाता था, कोई अटकता था बोलने के लिए बचपन में, सब. Because when we are growing up, there are certain things that takes a time to develop, right? My nephew did not utter a word when he was like, generally child used to at least utter a word when they are 2 or at least 3. When he become a 4-year old, then he used to speak. My father was in so much tension that why he's not speaking. But since my sibling, my brother and my babi both are doctors, and they were like, this will take a time to, have their own words. They will spell it out. फिर बोलना धीरे धीरे सीखेगा, फिर एक वर्ड बोलेगा, शब्द बोलेगा, फिर सेंटेंस बोलेगा बोलेगा, पर उसका इट विल टेक अ टाइम. सो फॉर हिम इट टुक अ टाइम. वो देर से बोलना सीखा, राइट? But since he was not in a school, he was not in that environment, he did not got bullied. But एक point of time कुछ लोगों को और लेट होता है. So किस तरह से हम बोल रहे हैं, right? Just so now it is not how we are looking, how we are speaking, how we are behaving, that also plays a part. So कोई तुतलाता होगा तो कभी कभी कोई कोई लोगों का क्या होता है, वो जो स्टैमरिंग होता है ना, कभी कभी बहुत क्रिशियल सिचुएशन या ऐसी सिचुएशन में फिर से स्टार्ट हो जाता है. इट ट्रिगर्स. So that stammering triggers and the person again stammers in that certain situations, right? Because that has triggered that part. Now there are certain kind of scissors which get activated during the kind of PTSD, form of a PTSD or kind of a trauma when has happened. तो one of the reaction होता है body भी जैसे बहुत stress होता है, certain kind of reactions our body also give to get rid of it, or to at least show others or to yourself that something has happened and we need to, guys, now we need to make a deal with it, right? So how we need to work on it. जब तक मुझे प्रॉब्लम नहीं पता है, जब तक मुझे नहीं लगेगा, मैं खुद एक्सेप्ट नहीं करूंगी कि मुझे कुछ हेल्थ इश्यूज हैं, आई विल नॉट इवन गेट इट टेस्टेड, आई विल नॉट इवन गो टू द डॉक्टर, आई नीड टू एडमिट दैट आई एम अ पेशेंट एंड देन आई कैन विजिट अ डॉक्टर. सो हाउ वी कैन डू दैट विद द सिम्टम्स. कोई सिम्टम होगा तभी हमको पता चलेगा कुछ प्रॉब्लम है और तभी हम उसको एक्सेप्ट करेंगे, और जब वो बार बार होगी तब हमारे अंदर समझ आएगी कि हाँ अब हमको डॉक्टर के पास जाना है. Now, resilience, what it does, when you work on all those things, when you went to doctor, you worked on the healing part, you healed it. So your system becomes powerful to deal it next time. Because now you're giving a proper care and nourishment to your body to deal with it when it happens the next time. Now it will not happen with that level as it happened in the past. Unless until you have not worked on your body. Right? Next slide. So this all are benefits of the inner healing, that why we need to do this. And Janish, next slide, please. Yeah, so key techniques, next slide. So we are now going to understand what are the key techniques. Right now, we'll just go into the theoretical part. After a break, we will have a break in 10 to 15 minutes. And then after that, we will practice it. I'll request you to bring certain items for the practice so that we can have a practically done. Because I believe that at least we can, at least something if we can do, it's better than nothing, right? Something is better than nothing. So yeah, just a minute, I'll have a water. So now we'll go with the techniques. There are some proven techniques and practices which helps in healing the inner child, which are self-compassion, writing letters, and journaling. Self-compassion is practicing. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and acceptance, especially when you feel vulnerable or emotionally wounded. Now, one of my friend has went through, I told you, right? Like certain men has gone through a essay during growing up, right? Essay is a short form of sexual abuse. When he was a child. So this requires a great deal of healing in the form of a psychologist. You need to have a n number of therapies needs to be done. One of the primary things for this is to accept that it was not your fault. Someone has watched Good Will Hunting. I will suggest you one of the movie recommendation is Good Will Hunting. So in that, the main character was, if you want to watch it. But I will spoil it for you guys because we need to understand this thing. Means a spoiler alert. तो इसमें क्या होता है कि एक जो सेंट्रल कैरेक्टर होता है उसको ही इज नॉट एबल टू हैव अ relationship, means he has a problem of accepting that he is very genius. He's very genius in maths, but he's accepting he does not like to go into it. He feels there is no future or something like that. That kinds of excuse he gives, but that is not the root cause. He works with a therapist. He even have a problem with a girl who he really loves to form a relationship with her. Now all the problem of all this lies in the thing that he faced essay when he was a child. उसके साथ childhood में कुछ हुआ था and the caregivers were not there, parents were not there. Means while growing up he did not have, he was an orphan child. In the therapy he understood and he worked on himself. It's a very good movie actually. It's an Oscar nominated movie. So उसमें उसको ये फील हुआ कि therapist ने फील करवाया and he constantly he told him that it was not your fault. So of course, when it comes from someone else, it validates, right? It was not his fault. He was a child actually, right? He was a baby, like he was a child, and it was not his fault. If something happens and he's not able to do it, he takes upon himself, and फिर वो फ्यूचर में वो चीज नहीं कर पाता जो उसको करनी है, और जिसके लिए वो really is really talented, and he's not able to do it because his fear is holding him back, his trauma is holding him back, his childhood, he needs that inner child healing. And therapist says the exact word, it is not your fault. And those words bring a kind of a healing inside him because he accepts it while coming from the outside, and inside he validates that yes, it was not my fault. It was not my fault that my parents were not there. Certain orphan kids brought up with the fault that there was some problem with me, that's why my parents left me in the orphanage. They take it on themselves. That becomes part of their personality. So most of the time they feel like they don't deserve love, they don't deserve certain things. They always doubt themselves in that point of time because there's a confidence takes a hit on you because you feel like कि आप कहाँ से आ रहे हो, वही आपका आपका बर्थ ही आप पे क्वेश्चन मार्क आप पे लग जाए, तो यू अंडरस्टैंड कि वो इंसान की साइकी क्या होगी, वो क्या सोचता होगा या सोचती होगी, राइट? और ये तब आता है जब उनको चाइल्डहुड में वो समझ, वो प्यार, वो एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं मिला, राइट? It is very difficult. I think you guys need to watch that movie to understand what I'm trying to say. The level of which the person happens with it, with himself, क्या हो रहा है, क्या problem है, वो it is very good movie and it is very great movie to understand that what we are also struggling. It is not as great as deep as what he has gone through. It's not as big as what he has gone through, but at least हमको अपना लेवल भी समझ में आया कि कोई छोटी बात भी हमको अफेक्ट कर गई और ये इसकी वजह से हमको ये प्रॉब्लम हो रही है। और अब टाइम आ गया कि हमको एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा कि चलो अगर हमारी मेरी गलती भी है, राइट, तो आई नीड टू एक्सेप्ट इट कि हाँ मुझसे भी गलती हुई है, तो आई एम ए ह्यूमन टू, राइट? So that compassion needs to come to accept all those things, all the parts of yourself, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, right? So that self-compassion needs to come, that understanding, that acceptance, everything. Writing letters. So writing letters to your inner child can help you express your feelings and provide the care and validation that your inner child may have lacked. I will write a letter to my 8-year-old, 9-year-old self, considering that Shikha, you are okay now, and I will write that you have a, you don't have a, like you're not boycott, you have long hair now. So probability that you will never have a long hair or fear of not growing out, there is no point of fearing out, right? And whatever it is there and it is what it is. So don't worry. I will write it to 8 and 9-year-old Shikha who went through certain things in her life. I want to make her understand that whatever that thing is, even if happens, not happens, or whatever it is, don't need to spend your life around it. You don't have to stick yourself around it. I'm not giving that specific example considering I want to put you guys Ashwin, Parikshit, Viral, Janish, I want you guys to put yourself inside it. Whatever that year of you face certain things, you need to write letter to your child, to that person, considering that it was okay and now you are doing well. You need to convey that to that child, that it's okay now. Okay. So let's move ahead with journaling. Journaling allows you to explore your thoughts and feelings related to your childhood experiences and inner child. So journaling, that's what I told you. It's part of an introspection only. Daily, if you put journal, have a proper ruled, unruled, or plain, or whatever it is, whatever book you have, sit with it for 10 minutes. Ask questions to yourself. Journal it. What has happened during the day, good, bad, whatever you want to write. Just vent it out. Right. Let's move ahead. Janish, let's go to the next slide. Yeah. Another techniques are visualization and meditation, identifying the triggers, reparenting, and forgiveness. Visualization and meditation, these techniques can help you connect with your inner child, provide a safe space for emotional processing and healing. Identifying triggers, recognizing and understanding your emotional triggers can help you identify the patterns and behaviors that stem from unresolved childhood, right? That's what we discussed. We need to ask questions to yourself. Why you behaved in that way? How the anger comes? अचानक से कहाँ से आ गया गुस्सा? क्यों आ गया? मुझे बॉस ने कुछ बोला तो मुझे क्यों गुस्सा आ गया? और अचानक से क्यों आया? वो पर्टिकुलर बॉस की गलती है या उसके पिछले वाले बॉस से प्रॉब्लम थी या उसके पहले स्कूल के प्रोफेसर कॉलेज के प्रोफेसर से प्रॉब्लम थी, स्कूल के टीचर से प्रॉब्लम थी, टीचर ने कुछ बोला था तुमको जो तुमको वो कर गया और उसका गुस्सा अभी भी निकल रहा है? Does it comes with any kind of things that you faced during your schooling as well, your teachers as well, right? Reparenting, this involves consciously providing the care and attention that your inner child may have lacked during the childhood. During the childhood, certain people have not means they have required to have like that particular doll or that particular car. I'll advise you that if you have a means to get that car, if that car is still in the production, like वो जो बचपन में जो कार थी, अगर वो चाहिए थी और नहीं मिली और अभी आपके पास पैसे हैं तो आप वो कार खरीद सकते हैं, वो डॉल खरीद सकते हैं, वो जो टॉय आपको चाहिए था, किसी को हॉट व्हील्स चाहिए थी, राइट? एंड दे डिड नॉट गेट व्हेन दे वर इन चाइल्डहुड. एंड trust me, if you get that now, that also makes a peace with the fact that you can afford it and now you can have it. That inner child will be very happy, or at least you are at a peace that I got it. Now I have it. Okay? So you are giving it a form of this is some. I'm talking in terms of a material. You got something, right? You can give that care and things through talking out with your friends, right? Letting it out, which you feel like that kind of conversation does not happen with parents, right? That kind of thing has not been established. Then you want to have it with your friends, then have it with friends, discuss with your friends if they get you. Forgiveness, the last step and the most important step is forgiveness. Forgiving your friends or the people you during the childhood, the parents, your teachers, the relatives, whoever teased you or caused you certain discomfort or a trauma or something that you still, just pinches you, even if it is little bit pinching you, you need to forgive them. They were there like that during that point of time. So you need to let it out. Forgiveness for the parents, it will take a great amount of time, great amount of energy, and great amount of greater perspective, I will say, in that sense. क्योंकि पेरेंट्स को सिर्फ पेरेंट्स के अलावा कुछ देखना बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है, because you have always looked up to them as a parent, right? So to look them as a human being, to look them as a normal human being who was also a child, right? At certain point of time, even if it is 50 or 60 years before, but they were a child at one point of time, right? तो अंडरस्टैंड करना पड़ेगा, उनके भी फ्लॉस अंडरस्टैंड करने पड़ेंगे। जैसे हम लोग चाइल्ड बने तो वो भी पेरेंट फर्स्ट टाइम बने, उनको बहुत सारा एक्सपीरियंस हो या 10-15 बच्चे हो, तो ऐसा तो नहीं है, राइट? तो हमको ये अंडरस्टैंड करना पड़ेगा कि वो लोग भी लर्न कर रहे थे। दैट कम्स विद दैट पार्ट ऑफ दैट फॉरगिवनेस, राइट? फॉर दिस ऑल्सो it requires I will say great heart, a great perspective, great patience and time and energy, everything great is required. But for forgiveness you require a big heart. It takes a huge big heart to forgive someone, because when you forgive someone, you see them as a human being or someone who did something at that point of time, at that particular circumstances, at that particular moment, right? Maybe they are also triggered by their own inner child. They have not healed their own inner child, right? Then you will come with an empathy के वो यार वो खुद ही प्रॉब्लम में था या थी, और वो खुद उन्होंने उस चीज का ट्रीटमेंट लिया ही नहीं, इसलिए वो दैट रबिश और दैट गार्बेज कम आउट फ्रॉम देयर माउथ ऑन यू. You have to look into that perspective, considering that they have also not healed their inner child. And guys, our parents had very tough life, okay, and our grandparents have much tougher life. Means and before that, though, I can't even imagine. They were like, we were like ruled by Britishers, right? So we were just treated like a slave. So you understand that what kind of life they might be having. Grandparents, parents. I'm talking about great grandparents. पर दादी पर नानी, उनके भी पहले वो लोग बचपन में कैसे जिए होंगे, कैसे, यानी आई कांट इवन इमेजिन दैट काइंड ऑफ लाइफ. Certain times a generational trauma pass on through because there is no point of understanding कि ऐसा चीजें कुछ होती हैं और वो हमको अफेक्ट करती हैं. जब हम लोग खुद समझ रहे हैं तो हमारे पेरेंट्स के साथ क्या हुआ, तो दे हैव एक्सेप्टेड द वे इट इज एंड दे मूव अहेड, एंड सेम हैपेंड विद अवर दादा दादी, पर दादा दादी, राइट? व्हाट हैपेंस दैट पासेस ऑन टू यू थ्रू लिनिएज. जब घर पास ऑन होता है, जमीन पास ऑन होती है, तो साथ साथ में ये चीजें भी पास ऑन होती है डीएनए में, और उसको वर्क करने के लिए टाइम बहुत लगता है. ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं जा सकता, हो सकता है, टाइम लगता है. सर्टेन फैमिलीज में देखा गया होगा, जैसे फिजिकल ट्रेट्स हमारे पास ऑन होते हैं हमको, सबको ही, वैसे कुछ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक भी पास ऑन होती हैं. कुछ फैमिली वाले गुस्से वाले होते हैं, कुछ फैमिली एकदम दे आर वेरी इरिटेबल, लाइक दे आर ऑलवेज गेटिंग इरिटेटेड वेरी इजीली. दिस इज अ ट्रेट ऑफ दैट फैमिली बिकॉज दिस इज पास्ड ऑन टू देयर डीएनए. Our moms might not have it since it's a patriarch society, पुरुष प्रधान है, तो मदर ही आती है, right? शादी के बाद घर में, तो मदर might be a different, but the father side of family, your बुआ and your चाचा might share a common trait, that they are like certain, this trait is similar in all of them, that they are very angry people, or they are very argumentative, or certain, like they have certain kind of laugh, they laugh in a typical way, right? सो दिस व्हेन इट इज अ जनरेशनल, तो उसमें और टाइम लगता है. एक जनरेशन का तो ठीक है, मल्टी जनरेशन होता है ना, तो उसको बहुत टाइम लगता है हील होने में, राइट? बिकॉज सर्टेन मेंटल एंड फिजिकल इश्यूज, of course blessings as well, but issues are also passed on because certain diseases are hereditary. I don't want to come into the astrology part, but just want to say कि पितृ दोष बोलते हैं ना, तो one of that is a पितृ दोष, because that dosh is not been healed by them. Now it's your time. If you have understood, you need to work on it so that you don't pass on to your children. Right? So let's go to another slide. We'll take a break in 5 minutes. Yeah, go ahead. So, I don't know about others, how they are like currently feeling, or someone who might be listening it during the YouTube video when it is got uploaded. So when if things are worse, there are certain scenarios where you need to take a professional help. If the things which we have seen or understand during this session is not worked out to that great level, then there are certain things that you need to seriously work upon the highly professional guys who specializes in this, so that you can get healing, required healing, and you move ahead in your life, right? At least live in the peak, शांति से रह पाओ अपने साथ. So, significant childhood trauma. If you have experienced significant childhood trauma during the childhood, therapy can provide a safe and supportive environment for healing. Especially, I'm talking about the essay, right? Why I took the essay example, because it's a significant thing which creates a lasting impact during your whole lifespan. If it is get untreated, that kind of trauma or that kind of fear pass on to your what you call child as well, right? So if you want to heal that, better to have a professional help for this if you have a means, or there are spaces, group therapies or group sessions where you can have it for free as well. There are so many online available, so many, I will say, YouTube channels and so many spaces where they are taking that group therapy sessions or something like that, where they discuss about this or give a perspective to you when you ask the questions. So take a professional help, and what they help you with: difficulty with emotional regulation. If you struggle to manage your emotions or experience frequent anxiety or depression, inner child therapy can be beneficial, right? In case of, I told you, right, or you get angry with your boss when they say certain things to you. At the end, they want to make their ends meet, and you also want to bring a food to your table, right? So both are working for a mission that they want to do certain things for the company and they want to bring something, and it's their job to get it done. And you are under them, so you're bound to listen to certain things, right? If I'm talking about, if you are employed somewhere, if you are working somewhere as an employee, not as an employer, but as an employee. So this comes in the case of the authority. When you have difficulty in dealing with the authority, you might get anxious when discussing bans and appraisal, right? And that anxiousness, that fear comes in form that you have with the higher authority, and that might stem from the childhood. And this, if this you can't resolve with a normal means, then you need to seek a professional help, and it helps you to the level that you can be a normal person, having a normal conversation with your boss or with someone in the higher authority. This is just a one example I've taken, but there are several examples where this emotional regulation helps with your partner, with your siblings, with your friends, everywhere where your behaviors a certain time not in a normal space, and you want to bring it to normal, and you want to bring it to normality. Sorry, I'm having issue with let me drink a water. And the third thing is relationship challenges that we have already discussed. So if you still struggle with it, then how to maintain and form the healthy relationship? You need to work on that inner child therapy. They have so many options. They can help you with the many things. Janish, next slide. So in case where you feel like the things are impacting your day-to-day life decisions, better to seek for the experts. Right? Go to next slide. Yeah. So we nurture our creativity when we realize our inner child, let it run, roam free. It will take you on a brighter journey. So if I am in peace with my inner child, I can roam, like I can see things differently when I go ahead. It makes me feel lighter. It makes me not have a concern about how I look or how I am, because I've worked on that part of accepting myself through self-compassion, right? Understanding why things have happened, and understanding in certain point of times that it's not my fault, it's not their fault as well, right? So all these things comes with the creativity सिर्फ हमारा expression नहीं, सिर्फ हमारे job में यानी creative होना यानी किताबें लिख देना, कविता कर देना, ये नहीं. Creativity comes in the form of anything. The way you arrange your desk, right? The way you work, the way you sort out the things. There are so many aspects of where the creativity is utilized. आप क्रिएटिव हो जाते हो, और जब आप धीरे धीरे आपके अंदर क्रिएटिविटी आने लगती है और चीजें हम एक्सप्रेस करने लगते हो थ्रू योर वर्ड्स, थ्रू योर एक्ट, थ्रू योर वे यू स्पीक, right, the way you write, then you understand that a part of you is healing and that inner child is healing and that expression is coming out. You have seen childs, right? Child videos, small child videos, your own child, right? If it's there. Or we have seen the innocence of animals, cute animals, right? They're, I will talk about like dogs or cats or even pandas, and so they're so cute. Like, so they have their own expression which is coming out. A child is so expressive. It never thinks or overthinks like how others are perceiving me, whether I have a good hair, whether I'm, having a proper, if it's a girl child, I'm having a proper frock and how I'm looking. No, like a 2 year, 3 year old child is so sweet and they are so expressive, right? They have that innocence. Even if they want to do certain things, they will see their mom. My mom is wearing this, I should, मम्मी ने lipstick लगाई तो मैं भी लगाऊंगी, right? So, but that is all in innocence, right? So they are so creative. They are so full of expressions. So your inner child, when it is happy, that kind of expressions and creativity comes out of you, and the part of you has really healed. These are the output of it, right? So go to the next slide. I think we are done. Yeah. So we have come to the conclusion. Now, after the break, we will have certain practices. We will do that. And then we can close off the session. So it will go ahead for like 15 to 20 minutes after we have a break. So first we'll go with the slide. Inner child healing is a powerful process that can lead to a significant personal growth and well-being that we have already understood in previous slide. By understanding your inner child, acknowledging your past experiences and providing care and compassion to your vulnerable self, you can begin to heal emotional wounds and create a more fulfilling life. Right? So that we are coming to the end of the session, understanding what inner child is, why it requires a healing, what healing does, what are the techniques of the healing, and what is the output once it is healed. What kind of a person it becomes? A person becomes a full of expression, creativity. Person becomes more joyous, can able to live a fulfilling life, can achieve their passions and dreams. They might even change their dreams, right? They will realize, okay, this is not giving me a fulfillment. I might have to reach or do something else that might give me more joy, right? So the inner child healing brings that kind of a space inside of yourself where you grow because you have nurtured something which was weak, and now you're fully yourself. When you're full inside of you, you can pour on to others. That's what we are here for, right? We are social animals. We have relationships. We thrive on it. But you're yourself very empty. You can't give it with an empty cup, right? You will get agitated. You will get irritated. You'll be angry. Angry people are like that because they are not full. They are not full of, there is something missing in them. Unless then they don't pour it into inside of themselves, they will not be able to give it to others. That's why they work on the half energy or energy which is not right for them, and at the end they get frustrated because they are not aware, self-aware. They have not doing the self-compassion. They have not worked on themselves. Go to the next slide, Janish. Go to next slide. Next slide. Okay. So guys, go to the conclusion slide, Janish. So with this, we have concluded the theoretical part of the session. You guys can go on break, but during a break, you need to do certain things. We will meet at 8:55 because that practice required 20 minutes. Then we can have a small question answers if you have, and by 9:30 we will close the session because most of you might have to go somewhere, right? Or if you have certain things, then you can tell me, we can close it off now. We can practice right now. Whatever you say. Or you want a break?
I think we can start practicing.
Okay. So, guys, you need to bring certain things. I need a pen and paper.
I need a break, 5 minutes.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So, take a 5 minutes break. Please be back by 8:55.
Okay.
Sure.
Everyone is back.
I'm here.
Okay. Viral Bhai is back. Parikshit Bhai. Janish. Guys, we are going to perform a meditation. So find a space where you cannot be disturbed. Put your mobile and everything on silent. Or go to a space, a safe space where you're able to relax and have no distraction. To get most out of this meditation, I will request you to go to that space. And you're able to hear my voice clearly. So if you have headphones, that would be great. And all of you, as you are already on off camera, mute your devices as well. If you have any question, you can ask. Let's wait for Viral Bhai. I think he's not arrived.
Shikha, I'm back.
Okay. Janish, we are going to perform a meditation. So find a safe space. We are waiting for Viral Bhai and Parikshit Bhai. I think Parikshit Bhai, you're there?
Yes, sir, I am present.
Bas. So let's wait for Viral Bhai. Once he is back, we will start. सब लोग अपना पोजीशन ले लो, ऐसी जगह जाओ जहाँ कोई नॉइज ना हो, कोई डिस्ट्रैक्शन ना हो, नोटिफिकेशन बंद, मोबाइल साइलेंट पे कर दो, एक शांत वाली जगह पे चली जाओ जहाँ मेरी आवाज आ सके क्लियरली, एंड बी ऑफ वीडियो. You are just able to listen this because we need to experience this. This is purely experience based exercise. The more you're able to concentrate of what I'm saying and following the instruction, the more you will get benefit out of it. Okay, guys?
Yes.
Viral Bhai is back.
Yes, I'm here.
विरल भाई वी आर गोइंग टू डू द मेडिटेशन. तो ऐसी स्पेस आप ले लीजिए जहां पे कोई डिस्ट्रैक्शन ना हो, एकदम शांति हो. और
Okay.
आप लोगों को लेटना हो तो आप लोग लेट भी सकते हैं, और बैठना हो तो बैठ भी सकते हैं, पर पोजीशन एकदम कंफर्टेबल होनी चाहिए और मेरी आवाज क्लियरली आनी चाहिए. जितना मैं जो कह रही हूँ फॉलो कर सके, एक्सपीरियंस ले सके, उतना ही ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा और उतना ही सक्सेसफुल रहेगा ये चीज.
Okay.
First, find the comfortable position. After finding comfortable position, just give me yes, everyone, so that we will start.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, my side.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start.
Okay. So first of all, अपने प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन में आते हैं. ग्राउंड करते हैं अपने आप को सबसे पहले. So everyone, please close your eyes. We'll take few deep breaths. Breathe in. Wait. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now everyone has to remember how they were looking when they were child, 8 years old, 9 years old, any age they can decide what they were called. I was called Shilu. Shilu is my nickname. All my childhood friends used to call me Shilu. She was very talkative, naughty, and always talking on the bench. And I always stand up on the bench because of that. So you all guys have to remember that small guy that you were, right? When you were child. See their face, how that used to run in the garden, how used to play the cricket, how used to roam around with the friends. Picture that child, that 8-year-old Janish, 9-year-old Viral Bhai. Once you have pictured it, imagine that child is standing in front of you. Once you see them, be at your place, but let something come out of you, your own self. Imagine that is coming out of you and holding the hand of that inner child, handshaking that small guy that you were. I am handshaking with my 6-year-old Shilu, the cutie pie she was. She looked so cute in that boy cut hairstyle with that uniform, that brown, and she's very cute with that hairband. That's my Shilu. How's your viral? That imagine yourself that is standing in front of you. Janish, for you, how he was, that small guy, the curly hair he had, the way he used to stand. Standing in front of you, you need to shake hand with him. Smile at them. When you're smiling, show them that you are there for them. The smile is for them. Show that inner child that you're happy by seeing them. Make them feel safe. Tell that child you are safe, you are loved, and you understand them. Say it that you are loved. तुम्हें हर कोई प्यार करता है. तुम सेफ हो. कोई कुछ नहीं बिगाड़ सकता तुम्हारा. और तुमको मैं समझता हूँ जैसे भी तुम हो. क्यों इतना ज्यादा बात करते हो, इतना ज्यादा हंसते हो? पर मैं तुमको समझता हूँ, कोई समझे या ना समझे. Tell this to that kid standing in front of you. That is you few years back. Ask that child, if that child talks to you, how they are feeling, and listen it without a judgment. Ask that child how they are feeling, what they were doing. My child is saying that she just had so much fun in the garden. झूला झूल के आया, इतना हरा झूला झूला, अभी सर घूम रहा है. अभी बहुत घूम रही हूँ मैं. मुझे बहुत मजा आ रहा है. दौड़ पकड़ भी खेली, लंगड़ी दाव खेला. बहुत मजा आ गया. मैं तो साइकिल भी सीख रही हूँ. बहुत मजा आ रहा है. ये गिर गई थी पर अब फिर भी मुझे मजा आ रहा है. Saying all that to me. What's your child is saying to you? वो क्या कर रहा है? वो क्या कहना चाहता है? क्रिकेट में खेल लिया आज. कितने रन आज? 4-6 मारा. क्या किया? आज खूब खेले. आज मूवी देखी रात को. आइस गोला खाया. पेप्सी गोला खाया. आइसक्रीम खाई. बहुत मजा आया. और कुछ भी कह रहा है क्या वो? उसको कोई पेन है क्या? उसको किसी ने कुछ डांटा है? उसको किसी ने कुछ चिढ़ाया क्या? कुछ बोल रहा है क्या वो चाइल्ड तुमको? उसके दोनों हाथ पकड़ लो और वेट करो. अगर वो कुछ बोलता है तो गिव हिम सम टाइम. जस्ट बी देयर. कुछ बोल रहा है क्या? पर अब से वो आपसे बात करने लगेगा. आगे बढ़ते हैं. उनको बताइए जैसे थे वो अच्छे थे. अच्छे और प्यारे थे. उनको बताइए कि हर एक बात पे ध्यान था. हर एक चीज का ध्यान था. तुम इनविजिबल नहीं थे. तुम स्पेशल थे. और हमेशा थे और रहोगे. आई एम टेलिंग दिस टू शीलू. मैं शीलू को बोल रही हूँ, किसी से भी कुछ भी करने की जरूरत नहीं है, चिढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है। तुम जैसी हो वैसी हो, अच्छी हो, प्यारी हो। आप लोग भी अपने इनर चाइल्ड को बोलिए, जैसे हैं, प्यारे हैं, सबके दुलारे हैं। यू आर स्पेशल, यू आर loved, and I am there for you. Something which is bothering you, some people, वो इनर चाइल्ड आपको कुछ बोल रहा है कि ये हुआ था या वो हुआ था, मुझे उस पे गुस्सा है, मुझे उस पे गुस्सा है, ये क्यों हुआ? Let that child speak everything. Let's give it some time. उसको बोलो कि तुम प्यारे तो हो, तुम अच्छे भी हो, तुम स्पेशल हो, तुम इतने अच्छे हो कि तुम सबको माफ करोगे। तुम इतने प्यारे हो कि अपने अंदर का प्यार सबको दोगे, और वही प्यार तुमको वापस मिलेगा। कौन देगा? मैं दूंगी। मैं दूंगी वो जो 6 साल वाली शीलू को चाहिए। मैं तुम्हारा साथ नहीं छोड़ूंगी। Let that child speak. After you are done, hug that child very tightly. Now hold their hands for a few seconds. Smile at them. Say to them that you love them and you cherish them. Now just hold one hand. Do a handshake. Pat their back. Tell them you did great, whatever you did at that point of time, and it's not their fault. They are wonderful. You are wonderful. Slowly release your hand. Stand in front of them. See them, what they are doing. See their smile, what they are wearing, how they are looking. Smile them back. Tell them that you always be loved, always be cherished. Tell them bye. It's time to say goodbye to them. Goodbye. Bye. Now gently step inside of you. Be at your own space. Now again we'll do some deep breathing. Then we'll open our eyes. Let's start. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Once you are comfortable, gently open your eyes. Once you open your eyes, just come back to the desk and say yes to me. So we'll move ahead. Take your time.
Yes.
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 Okay. Ashwin, you want to say something?
I wasn't with you actually. I mean, I was physically here, but I wasn't with you.
Okay, so you have not come back yet. It's like that?
No, it's not like that. I wasn't in the meditative state itself.
You need to cut the cords.
I was in a daydreaming state.
Okay, so you were not following the practice like that, or you went off दूसरे space में चले गए.
I went off and on and off and on.
Okay. So do one thing, you can practice it again by listening to this on YouTube, like when Jenish posts the video. You practice at that point.
Mm.
Okay, so no issues. Just
Mm.
take, like it is what it is. So I understand ADHD has very high time and concentration, so I understand that.
Mm.
So bring your pen and paper
Yeah, sure.
to do practice.
Yeah, sure. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Okay. Ashwin, you are back.
Shikha, we can start actually.
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. So, guys, take out your pen and paper. On the first page, oh, on top, you need to write down all the things that were told by your inner child, if any, during the session. Right now, what we had a meditation session, right? So, meditation के टाइम आपको जो भी फील हुआ या कोई कोई इंसिडेंट आ गया या फिर कोई चीज का गुस्सा है या फिर कोई चीज आपको कोई इंसिडेंट याद आ गया जो अभी कभी कभी बॉदर करता हो, write down those incidents, right? Or whatever your child spoke to you during this time, write it out on the paper. Then leave that first paper. This you will do after the session, not during the session. After the session, you will do this. Whatever your inner child has spoke to you during the meditation, you will write it out. Good, bad, or everything you can write. Right? On the second page, on the first, we will write the gratitude. No, first let's start with forgiveness and then gratitude. First, we'll start with the forgiveness. Now, the first part can play a role in this. The forgiveness means अगर आपको session के time पे कुछ feel ऐसा हुआ that you need to forgive someone, you need to किसी को माफ करना है, किसी चीज को या किसी पर्सन को या कुछ हुआ उस चीज को हमको फॉरगेट करना और फॉरगिव करना है, राइट? प्रॉपरली फॉरगिव करना है, आपको लेट गो करना है अपनी लाइफ से, आपको उसको माफ करना हो, आपको उसको छोड़ना हो, right? The best way to do is forgiveness. So you have to write that I forgive you. So you can be anyone, whoever come to your mind during that session, right? So forgiveness may you need to write few times unless you feel better. I will suggest 3 to 4 times minimum. You can write 11 times as well unless until you feel better that it has come out of you. It can be one person, it can be two-person, but for one person, one incident, or for one thing, you need to write 11 times that I forgive you. Now it comes to others, right? Like whoever caused a problem or whatever has happened. वो सारा चीज ठीक है, वो जो पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं उसके बारे में हम लोग माफ कर रहे हैं वन बाय वन. बट सबसे बड़ी माफी हमको अपने आप से मांगनी चाहिए, क्योंकि समटाइम्स इवन वी वेर चाइल्ड वी वेर नॉट नोइंग कि हमने क्या प्रॉब्लम हमारे साथ हुई थी, राइट? एंड हम अपने आप को दोष देने लगते हैं इवन दो इट्स नॉट आवर फॉल्ट. We consider that we were not deserving. That's why that happened with me. I deserve that treatment. Right? I make myself so small. I'm built for a sky and I'm fitting myself into a tiny box. Right? I'm a bird and someone wants to fit me into a pond. Just a pond, but I can fly, I can swim, I can walk, I can do anything. But I was doing that because in the childhood, we don't have that perspective, right? So what we will do, forgiveness वाला part clear है कि पहले हमको दूसरों को forgive करना है, फिर खुद को forgive करना है. खुद को forgive करना है तो वो भी 11 times लिखना है. Unless until you start feeling better. If you feel like it requires 50 times, like 100 times, then write that much. Unless until you feel better. So that comes a forgiveness part. Now comes the third part. Right? So you can take a third page or you can take the same page if whatever it is required, depending on the space. On the third page, you write it the gratitude. Gratitude for all those who were present during that time, during your childhood, your parents, your teachers, your friends, your elder siblings, your younger siblings, your teachers, your tuition teachers, your relatives, your cousins. So many people were out there. They guide you at that point of time, at correct moment, at right point, at right place. They were there with you. Thank them. It's time to thank them, to acknowledge their presence during that point of time where you were a child, where you were dependent on others. They were there. And if you're going to write that gratitude list, you will be shocked actually. You will be seeing at least 10 to 20 people who were there for the smallest thing. Someone shared their chocolate with you, their friend. My sibling used to share chocolate with me. I did not used to share. मैं भैया लाता था चॉकलेट, एक चॉकलेट मिलती थी तो एक चॉकलेट लाता था, आधी वो खाता था आधी मैं खाती थी, और मुझे दो भी मिलती थी तो मैं नहीं ले जाती थी, मैं बदमाश थी, सॉरी. बट ही यूज्ड टू शेयर हिज चॉकलेट एंड चॉकलेट वाज सो, कितना प्यारा होता है ना बच्चे को, चॉकलेट आइसक्रीम और ये सब कोई शेयर करता है तो बहुत बड़ी बात है, उसको भी तो पसंद है ना, फिर भी वो शेयर कर रहा है. So there are so many thank yous that you need to write it down in that paper. And what it will give you, it give you the sense of feeling loved, right? Sense of feeling special, that you are, we all are in our own way, right? So these are the three things. There are some exercises that I want to suggest, that there's a kind of a homework for you guys. The first page is homework for you. There you need to write down what are your experiences during that meditation session. On that page, whatever your child has spoken to you, your inner child, write it down on that paper, right? And second thing, write this forgiveness. Third thing is a gratitude. You write it at your own pace, at your own time, but please write it today only. And if it is small, write it just after the session, right? So let's move ahead. We did our practice, right? We did a meditation, we did our practice, and now we will move ahead. I want to give you some homework related to this. Is your homework, and second homework is there are certain movies that you can watch. So, Janish, you can write it down in the WhatsApp as well to give them that as a homework, or I can write it in the chat as well here. They were lost now, Jay. So, there are movies that I recommend for you to watch, right? So, you can copy paste this to a WhatsApp chat as well. One is Inside Out, right? It's an English movie. The second is also an English movie, Turning Red. I want to discuss this two are English movies and the few Hindi movies. I think you might know these movies. This movie is right like some of the Amitabh Bachchan movies. I want to discuss this point. I could not discuss this with the time constraint as well. Diwar. Have you guys seen Diwar? Amitabh Bachchan movie. मेरे पास माँ है.
Yes, but long back.
Yeah. So guys, I suggest you to see it now with this knowledge. You will see it in a totally different light actually. That Vijay was his name, right? Character's name, Amitabh Bachchan's character's name, right? So he was, his father expired when he was child, and to meet the घर चलाने के लिए उसको काम करना पड़ा अर्ली एज से, ताकि उसका भाई पढ़ लिख के वो कर पाए, और उसने सब टाइप के काम किए. पर सबसे बड़ा उसका ट्रॉमा क्या था, उसके हाथ पे किसी ने कुछ लिख दिया था, राइट? That was the biggest trauma that a child cannot handle that. जाके साइन लेके आओ जिसने हाथ पे लिखा है. You should see those dialogues. Those are iconic because there is so much going behind it. That was going. We can see the actions that he performed during the movie. Action as an action star, like Amitabh Bachchan was. It was young angry man, right? Sorry, angry young man. That's a name given to him. Where that anger comes from, where that things comes from, there was an inner child. That is a childhood trauma which did not heal his inner child, which he carried in his youth. Something happened and then he moved forward. You should watch that movie. Diwar is there, Lavaris is there. He was orphan, right? अपनी तो जैसे तैसे कट जाएगी आपका क्या होगा, right? That song is there. अपनी तो जैसे तैसे कट जाएगी. He see this was a very, the song is very light hearted, but you see the gist of it. जैसे तैसे चली जाएगी. जैसे तैसे आपको लाइफ जीनी है क्या? किसी को भी लाइफ जैसे तैसे जीनी है क्या? Watch that movie. That movie is also, it also deals with that. You most of the movies if you see na, but especially Amitabh Bachchan's character is running from something, and from running, he grows up. That's a pattern you see in 2, 3 movies. He has done that because he's running away from something. That running away is nothing less than running away from his childhood, from his problems, from his situation. I want to go ahead. But when he has achieved everything, then also that trauma is still there. These are 2, 3 examples. One more example is Sharabi movie. Have you guys know that song, that movie, Sharabi?
Yes.
Yeah, so that movie is also like that. He is a बेवड़ा है वो. और बेवड़ा कैसे हुआ, क्यों हुआ? One of the reasons his father was not present during his upbringing. And see, here he was not even orphan. He was not, गरीब भी नहीं था उसके, ऐसा भी नहीं था कि कुछ खाने के वादे हैं, कुछ भी नहीं था, फिर भी ही हैज स्ट्रगल लॉट. दैट हैज कम इन अ फॉर्म ऑफ डीलिंग विद ट्रॉमा विद अल्कोहल, बिकॉज ही डोंट वांट टू रिमेन सेन. उसको नॉर्मल नहीं रहना, इसका मतलब कुछ तो होता है ना, कि शराब तो कुछ तो करती है ना, कि वो उसको, ही इज एबल टू लिव नॉर्मली. So watch that movie, Sharabi, and Lavaris, Diwar. These 2, 3 movies are like that, and you will be able to see it with different point of view, and it will be very great. So these are the few Hindi movie recommendations, and just a minute. If you have any questions, you can ask me as of now, because we are coming to the closing. We'll close in a few minutes. So if you have any questions, you can ask me right now, or you can ask me in the group as well. Okay, that take that silence as a no. You don't have any questions. Now, 2 things I want to point it out again with the perspective of a movie. That have you guys seen Highway movie?
Yes.
Right. So in
Yes.
that movie, Alia Bhatt gets involved with Randeep Hooda, right? Who was her kidnapper, right? उसने किडनैप किया था आलिया को, फिर भी वो उसके लिए उसकी फीलिंग्स आ जाती है, which is not normal actually. That is called Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome is something that you develop a positive feelings for the someone who has hurted you or develop a trauma for you, or someone who has scarred you for life, who was abuser actually. Means it's not normal to have a positive feelings for them, right? So what happens? This happens in the way when the person is dealing with a great childhood trauma. And when she comes back, she tells that वो uncle उसको कैसे छूते थे. If you have seen that entire scene, if you remember that thing, so that was her trauma, and she dealt with trauma once it is outside of her, and when she tells that to her parents, she becomes free actually. That experience leaves her free when she comes back and confronts that to her parents, caregivers, right? So when it was not treated, she had those kind of feelings with a person who it should not be. But when she come back, so it is like how the journey is. If you see down the line, it was a childhood trauma. That inner child need a healing, and that हिम्मत उसको कब आई जब उसको पता चला कि she faced it all these things, right? The improper way is also a Sharabi movie, which I've discussed. The alcoholism is an improper way to deal with that, right? One more movie is a Parvarish. You should watch that movie. I will not discuss that movie. Right? I'll give a few more examples of properly. Have you seen Jab We Met? Anyone guys? Jab We Met देखी है आपने?
हाँ देखिए।
Yes, yes.
राइट। तो आदित्य चढ़ता है वो ट्रेन पे, स्टार्टिंग में डिप्रेस होता है, राइट। सो द वन ऑफ द रीजन वाज जस्ट नॉट हर fiance but also her mom, right? Her mom left him and married someone, left him and his father and married someone else. And he used certain words also for her, for his mom, when Geet confronted के भी प्यार में कुछ भी हो सकता है, and that and down the line when he was with Geet, Aditya was with Geet, he healed actually. At the end of the movie, after the first half of the movie, we can see a new Aditya. Because Geet gave him a different perspective of what love is, how it looks like, how it feels like, and how the person gets mad in love, right? And that makes him understand his mom, why she did that at that point of time. She even becomes friendly with the mom later on, right? With his mom, he becomes friendly. So that's a properly how a inner child is healed and how it becomes more happier version or successful version. He becomes so successful in the movie as well, right? Someone has seen Mr. India. If not, please watch it. Mr. India has a great deal of how the childhood is and how it should be. Mr. India does something which he has issues and now has come out. Right. So I don't want to discuss much about Mr. India because it's an experience. My words are not enough for that. Right. So we are coming to the end of the session. So these are some recommendations that I've suggested. I wish you guys watch it and try to understand how it is. So anyone has any question?
Just a personal question.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to pursue psychology last time. Yeah, any plans of doing that?
Yeah, actually, I'm doing that down. I'm attending some seminars and all those things, and trying to understand it deeper how it impacts. But to become a licensed psychologist, it will require a great deal of time and efforts and study. So
Yeah.
right now, current situations won't allow me to do that.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, these are the few Hindi movie recommendations. In another language I don't have much idea, so this English and Hindi movies I can recommend. Okay. If no one has any question, then I would just require one word feedback in the chat. What you guys have felt. You can write at least one word: good, bad, excellent, awesome, amazing, not good, ugly, or whatever you want to write. Write one word. Everyone, I expect at least I expect 5 words on this chat.
But they can share also. You can ask. Viral, Parikshit, Janish.
Yeah, I can ask. I thought that it will take time, so that's why I'm not
No,
asking.
just one minute, everybody share.
It was refreshing.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
मेमोरेबल मेमोराइज
क्या परीक्षित भाई आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा?
हम मेमोराइज हुआ है पूरा अपने को कि बचपन से अभी तक क्या हुआ है क्या नहीं
समझ में नहीं आया.
मेमोरेबल मेमोरेबल हुआ है
Memorable. Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah, Ashwin, Viral bhai.
Yeah, the thing is, let's say you told us to write that I want to forgive someone, I'm grateful to someone, and so and so. But what if I don't want to forgive?
Then you will take it with you. Then it's your decision.
Hmm.
Then you will suffer. No one else suffer. If I am holding a rope which is tied to my hand, right? And I can untie it, but still and it is very tightly knotted to my hand. I can untie anytime, but I'm not tying. I'm just holding it. It's going to suffer. I'm the one who's going to suffer. No one else. It's gonna leave a mark on me. It's gonna create a blood circulation issue on my hand. I'm gonna suffer. No one else. That's your choice, actually. And it's okay. But then it comes with the consequences.
Mm. Yeah, the revengeful behavior.
Hmm?
I have the revengeful behavior, I said.
See, revengeful behavior is helpful in getting the justice for the people who can't get justice for themselves. Right? But
Mm.
apart from that, if you want the revenge, then it never comes on time. In certain times, you can't even take revenge from someone who's dead. Right? So you need to accept those part of yourself. You have to stop judging it. And once you do that for yourself, you will be able to do that for others as well. You're understanding what I'm saying? If you feel that certain thoughts are not valid, certain thoughts are very bad, but you need to understand the part of yourself that from where it is coming from. And those parts exist in others as well. Right? You are understanding what I'm trying to say here?
Kind of.
So even if you're not able to see that part for others, at least able to see for yourself. Slowly you're able to see that in others as well. That reflection you're able to see everywhere.
Mm.
Right? Because we all are connected somewhere down the line. We all are connected by something that is called shared consciousness. We are all part of it. And that's how certain times, certain ideas which you think about are already in the implementations. Certain things you feel like which is very how other person can experience, but other person have experienced it. We all are living it. We have all lived the trauma of corona. And if war had happened, we would have all gone through it as being Indian. We all are in it together. Just living in separate cubicles, separate chambers. Slowly, gradually, but
Ashwin, I recommend you should have one-on-one, if, session with Shikha, if that
Okay.
helps you. I
Okay.
think because your conversations are deep and it requires a lot more attention. So if you feel she can add value to your life, you should request one-on-one session with her.
Okay. Okay.
sure, I'll be glad to help. Yeah, Viral bhai. Feedback.
Um, Actually, I'll ask all these questions to my son. I was actually mirroring myself when you asked us to that meditation, right? So I'm still that child when I was 9 or 10 or something.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I'll practice this with my son also. That will help me understand his needs, uh, his feelings.
Yes. And yes, that helps you in being a parent that you want to be. And he needs you to be. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And thank you all for your time and patience and following what I said. I just want to say that I'm not an expert. I'm not like some Baba or some. I'm not like that. I'm a normal person. And certain things I've seen more and practiced more because of certain things that have happened, certain resources that I had. I want to say a gratitude to every one of them who were part of my journey, good, bad, or whatever it is. And I want to thank you all for your time and I want to look forward for any other, future sessions if we may have. Janish, special thanks to you for organizing such sessions for everyone. Thank you all. That's it from me. If anyone have any question, they can ask now or ask in a chat.
Yeah. Thank you, Shika, for leading the session. I think anyone have any question, please message in the WhatsApp group. We'll
Thank you so
complete.
much.
Yeah, we'll complete here.